Doing awesome, James. Hope you are too, buddy.
Hello, brother. Good to hear your voice, man.
You as well.
One more week,
One more week,
and I get to start making fun of you, brother, in about a week, right?
That's it, bro.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think a few other folks are. I see we've added 3 more people. I guess I'd give everybody another minute or two for people to jump on because I know there's some people coming on the West Coast. Tonight is it's a good bit of information. So if you have pen and paper, or hopefully most of you have downloaded and printed the training documents from the website, from our website, the Quick Start Worksheet would be the first place to start. Hopefully you downloaded it and you like to follow along with it on your computer making notes. You've got it in an editable PDF, or
I'm over. We just do the charger with me, okay? No, it ain't. Come on. You don't even like it. Come on.
I'm gonna mute everyone here. Hold on. Mute. Oh, there we go. I only, So if you don't have the Quick Start Worksheet printed, maybe you have an editable document. We are going to be working off of that this evening. So have that either at your disposal or printed so you can take notes off of it. And the purpose of tonight is more or less to start showing you how to use all of the tools that Viseo has given you, as well as all of the tools and the technology that we have adopted in our team. So it's the right first step for all of you guys. And the place I would like to start here with everyone is really just congratulating all of you on taking a great step. Not many people, for all of you that this is your first business, not many people will take that chance in life, or in the past anyway. Not many people have taken that chance on themselves, and you're taking a chance on you, and you're showing yourself that you're worth it. You're worth pursuing a better opportunity, and so congratulations to you for that. And truth be told, this is just the best business model you could have done that with, right? For several of the people on here that have businesses, and that's my background, is being in business. I would have loved to be able to be in a business like this, or know of a business like this when I first started. I kind of went backwards, right? I have a traditional business, dozens of employees. I still have dozens of employees, and copious amounts of overhead. This business, you don't have all of those things. And luckily, in 2019, we have a lot of technology, which is going to be kind of like the cornerstone of what we're talking about, what we're going to be talking about today. You'll see a lot of technology. And if you're somebody that's very tech savvy, this is you. Some people will probably be doing a lot of these things and having them done before we're even done. If you're not tech savvy, don't get overwhelmed. Don't think that it's something that you can't do, because we have seen people that don't even have social media, don't use email, be able to use and do a lot of these tools. So don't get overwhelmed. This is just, if you're one of those people, guess what? You're probably going to talk to someone that's going to want to have access to these tools. And so that's why we want to help you get more folks to this call, which is like one of the first steps in someone growing their business on our team. So congratulations again on becoming a business owner. Again, step 1, download the Quick Start Worksheet, and we're going to start right there. Step number 1 for everyone is to develop your story. You're going to want to, there's a reason why you said yes to this industry. There's a reason why you said yes to this business. And there's a way to tell that in the form of a story, and you want to have that down pat, and you want to answer the 4 questions that are on that. Where were you in life when you were presented Viseo? what you saw in Viseo, what you did, what you purchased, what were your steps, and where you're going with this business. When you can answer those four things in your story, those will help you, and it'll make sense as we go along. Because you know what, you're going to tell your story in that fashion, and you're going to teach the people in your team to tell the story in that fashion. And so it gives you good points and frames of references, right, that you can always use as you're growing your team. It builds a lot of value and a lot of depth. And this is very similar to, like, I own franchises. This is a very similar to a franchise model, right? When you buy into a franchise business, there's systems in place and tech, and that's really why you go that route, because a lot of things have already been learned, a lot of mistakes, a lot of trials, a lot of success has been realized with the business model that you're buying into. And that's no different here. This is the largest team in the company, and the reason, with what Ricky and Francoise has put together, with the cumulative effort of a lot of the other leaders, it works. And if you put it to work, it'll work for you. It's done so. There's a reason why, within the company, this is the largest team, because we do things like this to try to get you guys and your team to build. So number one, the story, right? And get those several elements need to be present in the story. Then you want to build your top 10 list. And right now, I mean, this thing's going so fast. This business is going so fast, and so you think about targeting certain people, or I still like to say, look, if you find someone that is business minded, those are and family, right? You want to bless your family. You say, look, if you guys took a chance on this, you saw it for what it was. Your natural tendency is you want to bless the people that are closest to you. Then business-minded individuals, right? You want to find people that have business acumen, because this business makes sense to a lot of people that have business acumen and own and operate their own businesses. Because if you're an entrepreneur, if you own your own business, it's in you to always want to build and grow and have business. However, when you have your own business, your time is a luxury that most people don't have. This business is easily the one that is the most time friendly, because you can, when you're busy at times, you can do this business in windows in time, blocks of time. And then because of, today is a great example. Ricky and Francoise have things going on. They're leveraging my time to help build other people. And you're going to be doing the same. You're going to find people, you're going to build your business, you're going to leverage their time. So no business out there allows that type of flexibility that I know of, where you're going to leverage other people's times, where you're going to leverage a system, and you yourself can build a massive. This is a 6-figure business for a lot of the leaders here. We built this while we have other companies, while we have families. So no other business is going to be that friendly, in my opinion. So develop your story, build your top 10 list with those things in mind. And then right now, obviously, develop your script, right? You want to develop your script with the primary components. And they are, creating a sense of urgency, create interest. And right now, the CBD, if you go on the ucrewNation.com website, go into training, we're at the same place on that document. Below that document, it's going to be this, or right, actually, I think it's right beside that document, the CBD script. That script right there will give you the pointers, and it does work. I've been doing this for a couple years now. I've probably done close to 2,000, maybe 2,500 connect calls. And in the last 2 weeks, several of the connect calls, I didn't even get finished, didn't even feel like I was getting much leeway with the people. And they were like, so who do I sign up with? Do I sign up with you now? So this CBD thing is, it works, and it's creating its own interest just because of what type of media exposure is out there, which again is all the more reason why we like to do calls like this, where we're trying to keep everybody on task. We're trying to keep people accountable to a system, because as this thing grows, if it grows out of control, then our business will cease to duplicate, which is easily the most important aspect of this business. If we can't duplicate effort, or we can't duplicate, the business will eventually suffer significantly. And obviously, if you're somebody, you're out there crushing it, or you see people right now that are crushing it, that's awesome. That's great. They're folks, they're polished, they're skilled. But people don't duplicate. Systems do, right? That person you're not going to become that person in a week or two. You're just, if you follow this system though, and you teach your other people to follow this system, that does duplicate. That does build depth and growth to your business. So look at follow this script as best as possible, and get them on a connect. Right now, connects are, like I said, I've had a couple of them I didn't even finish, and these people wanted to know if they should give me their credit card right now or sign up with the person that had connected us together. And so obviously we got that done. But look at the CBD script, because that's kind of where everything's moving right now. And then obviously, when you're going through that CBD invite, the most important element I tell everyone is on that invite, there's one goal and one goal only, and that's to invite them to take a look at this thing, right? And using that CBD script right now is, you'll get through a third of it, and they're like, yeah, I want to know more. Get off the phone and then go through the next steps of scheduling with your leader. Schedule that connect call. And so the next, let's see here. I don't want to jump too far ahead about scheduling your grand opening. In that document, it says schedule your grand opening. Step 4 is to schedule your grand opening. Right now, I know several people, like I know if you look at like some of the massive growth with like Mario and John. John's here in Florida. Mario's on the West Coast. Scheduling a VVE with those two in the same room at the same time within a week or two is going to be difficult. So right now, this business is going really fast. And if you're scheduling Zooms or Connect calls, that's working right now. Eventually, maybe after when we come out of conference, I would say let's start scheduling launch dates, right? And then you can kind of pocket people together. Like if you have a couple folks that live in a town, let's pocket those guys together. Combine resources to have a bigger VVE, if you will. So right now, step 4 is there about launching your business, which is important. However, I know right now people have a sense of urgency because they want to get in line even before we start shipping it. So doing the connect calls, that's where things are working. Continue to do those, but know that step will probably start scheduling a lot more of those right after conference. Now we'll start with the techie stuff, right? So page 3, plugging in is the most important, is probably the most crucial element to getting yourself and your prospects to start weaving this into their life, right? So this is, you guys that are all just coming into this business, this is something new, right? And so we've been living our lives for however long of a period of time you've been living your life, and you've been living in a certain way. You've got certain goals, certain responsibilities, you've got certain obligations. You're going to start weaving something brand new into your life. The best way we found is to get plugged in, make it a priority, right? You get plugged into this stuff, that constant reminder of seeing things that are happening on a consistent basis will help. first and foremost is when you figure out, or something that I think we should probably talk about is when you, first thing you do, you're going to get enrolled into, you're going to get enrolled. Hopefully your leader's going to have enrolled you, and you're going to do the same. When you enroll folks, keep in mind that the username that they're using, that you're going to use to enroll someone in the back office, that username is also going to be their website. So if they have a username like, you know, they own a pool company and it's Jimbo's Pool Co, right, at gmail.com, right? Typically you would say Jimbo's Pool Co at Viseo.com. That might not be the best option, right, for their website, right? You're going to be shooting people to that website. You know, it's a website, unless you're using a landing page that you have your own. You've come up with your own website that then directs everybody to your personalized. Put a little thought and help your prospects into putting some thought into what your username and or your replicated website should be. Obviously, if you guys are here and someone enrolled your sponsor enrolled you, and they did so using, you know, the what was ahead of your email address, you now can go in, log in using that, and if you're enrolling someone, or if you were enrolled by someone that has been through this training, your password should be, unless you enrolled yourself, because things have been flying, password's going to be Viseo 2019 with a capital V. And we recommend, when you're signing your folks up right now, use that as the initial password, right? Viseo 2019 with a capital V. It helps. You know, it helps when we're all coaching the same thing. So use Viseo with a capital V 2019. So you can log into your website using your username and probably that password, unless you have already gone in and created your own, and just, you know, make sure that the your username and or your replicated website has a name that isn't, you know, 47 characters long, or, you know, something like, or doesn't have a name that doesn't in some way maybe align itself with what we're doing, right? What we're about as a company. So do that. And then the next, well, your V wallet, I don't know if you need to necessarily set up your set up your V wallet. When you get your text message on Friday that you've made some funds, set up your V wallet, because now you've got funds. So moral of that story is try to get your 2 within your first week if you can, right? Direct your folks to these trainings and plug them in and get going. Try to get your 2. That way you have to set up your V wallet, right? That's going to be how we get paid. We get paid on Fridays. Get your nice text message, and goes right into your virtual wallet. Then the next thing would be create, and it's worth mentioning, right? V wallet is something that corporate provides. The website is something that corporate provides. All of the other tools that we talk about right now, the WhatsApp, the Cozy, Facebook, Instagram, what else? What do we got? We got Facebook, the Viseo app, Zoom account that we're on right now. All of these things are free tools, right? And I can't stress to you, like, again, if you're not a tech person, you might sound like, oh my gosh, I have all these. They're free tools. Imagine being a tradesman in any other trade, or a franchisee like myself, and having free tools. I literally pay for, as a franchisee, we pay just to have the rights to a territory in a 3-mile radius. Then we pay a percentage of everything we do for support from corporate. Then we pay for processing to process payments, to process bills. We pay a website fee, software. All of these things every one of these tools are free, and they're valuable. So that's something that is worth mentioning. First off, is Cozy app, right? The Cozy app is basically, it's a family scheduler is what it is. We use it as a scheduler because as we're growing, again, we're a team of 5,000 folks. We have a lot of leaders, but there's a lot of demand of us as leaders who, again, many of us have businesses also, you know what I mean? So scheduling is important. And as this thing is growing, there's a lot of other folks that are trying to put demands on time. So the Cozy helps us navigate that, especially in a time like now when it's really busy. The username and password is still the same. It's ucrewnation@gmail.com. Password is ucrewnation. And your leader, you'll identify whichever of your leader it is. They're going to have their name with team beside it. You can identify who that person is, and that's going to be the person you're generally connecting with. Then the next, the Viseo app, actually, that's going to be the thing to do after you get logged into your website. Figure out your website username. Viseo app, right? That's your business in a box, really. That's where you can send all of your videos from, share literature, everything that you really need to run your business. Technically is in there, right? From Viseo, as Viseo is concerned, all of the videos and PDF documents on all of our products, on how to build a business, on how we get paid, the history of the founders, the history of the company, the development and the elements of our technology. All of those things are in there. Our recommendation is always, obviously, once you get in there, log in, take the tour. There's a vCloud tour that'll help you become familiar with all of the different elements we have there. It's an excellent tool. You import all of your contacts, which helps. And there's what we call a CRM, a management system element to it as well, so you can manage your prospects as they're in different stages of onboarding. It's an excellent tool. Take the vCloud tour. A lot of the value will start to manifest itself at that point. The next thing, obviously, join the private Facebook page. That will probably be done by your prospect, and you are also going to be doing that. That will be done by your sponsor, sorry. And you will also be doing that for your prospects / new brand partners. You're going to want to formally welcome them to the private Facebook page. Again, that's another tool. The beautiful thing about that, it's a tool that allows you access to everybody on the team. So when you're pursuing a prospect that you feel like their interest level is going to be elevated by hearing a story that relates to theirs, you can put it out there. Boom, you're going to start hearing from folks that may have some similar elements, or people that have people on their team that have similar elements. It's a constant flow of positive reinforcement about the company and the products and the people that are in it. So it's good to have that as something that people are plugging into. Other leaders are going to be on there, so they're constantly hearing about the things that are the positive impact that we're having as a company, as a team, as our product, our products, all of the positive effects that we're having on people are going to be flowing through that, and you guys yourself and all of your new people are going to be seeing that. Zoom, obviously, most of you have probably created it. As you're here, I see several folks that have just their name. I would put a picture up, right? Because as you're growing, do your full profile, put a picture up, because as you're growing, you're 2 to 3 people in down your team. They've probably never met you before. This is a good way to start establishing that familiarity, because you're business partners with people. Once they come into your team, they're your business partners. So that familiarity will start to develop value. This is a people first business. One way to exemplify that and show that is by, talking face to face, just like we're doing right now, right? We have videos, or we have technology and things like this that allow us to see one another. Well, having your picture up on that profile, I feel like it definitely looks more professional. especially if you use a professional photo. So obviously, this is a business. I would choose my photo, and accordingly, that kind of exemplifies a business. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Videos like this training tonight will probably be uploaded to the YouTube channel within due time. So if you have prospects, or this is a training call, so if you have new brand partners on your team that can't make one of the scheduled times that we're doing this, which is, it happens. Some people work, overnights, and that's generally when a lot of these are, and they can't make those calls. Send them to the YouTube channel. If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, they'll have the replay video, and so they can get it on their own time. So subscribe to the YouTube channel is always there. If you're Instagram, UCrew Nation. So now let's talk about the next tab. So we've been talking about the Quick Start Training tab. That's where all of this information has come from. There's another tab on ucrewnation.com, and that's the Leaders tab. There's two things to do there. If you don't know, you're going to know the person that brought you into this business. Typically what should happen, and I hope what did happen, is they sent the text message to you and their upline leader, or maybe, way upline leader, introducing you all, and probably directing you to do the quick start document and send you to one of the trainings, just like tonight. So when you do that, they're going to go on there and go onto the quick start training tab. Next to that is the Leaders tab. You can identify who, through the person that you've been texted now, that you've been connected through text. Either that person's edification is going to be under the Leaders tab, or someone on there is going to be on that edification tab. Familiarize yourself with it. I know Sarge says to print it out. Print it out if you have to, right? If you're somebody that's really organized, that likes to have file folders of a lot of these things, printing it out is not a bad idea. But having that edification does several things, right? Let's say if someone, if you're on somebody on my team, and you see my name, you feel like, hey, you see that I'm the upline leader, but you've never met me. When you go on there, you're going to see the edification points. And so even if we've never personally met, or it's the first connect call, it's going to appear as if we have, because you're going to be doing and introducing me with the same points that someone else has, right? Again, it's a system. It duplicates, right? You're going to do the same thing that everyone else has done as far as edification. Become familiar with the leaders, and we're all doing this because we all want to see everyone succeed. We're compensated to do so, right? The more as our team grows, the more our volume grows, the better we all do. And the beautiful thing about this business is 100% of everything that happens from here on out for you in this business, you're going to realize some benefit from 100% of that, right? Everything that happens below that you personally do. You're also going to get a benefit 50% of everything that, let's say, your sponsor that brought you into this, but you're going to benefit from that person and his person, especially on your common leg. So you want to duplicate, and you want to continue to duplicate, because that's how we've gotten to where we are. We continually stack, right? Doing the same things, doing similar things over and over and over again. So we can coach it, teach it, and you can go out and do the same. All of you guys that are on this call, that are taking the time, that have taken all of these steps, you're showing that you're treating like a business. Within a few months, you're going to be where I am, doing this for your team. You're going to be developing, you're going to be teaching them all of these, the principles that are on our planning and training. know the edification of the leaders. And it bears mentioning, if you're someone that's never had anybody edify you before, it's a little weird. It is something to get used to. You feel like, oh man, they're it sounds really great, all of the things that they've said about me so far, but understand that edification helps to break down walls. The way that this business grows is through networking between folks. Well, most of the time, if not, just about all of the time, us as the leader has never met your prospect, has zero commonality, never crossed paths. And so what edification does is it starts to build that connection, right? It's through you and your leader that connection's even being made possible. This is one more step to solidify that connection, to try to open up your prospects to the possibility that this could be something that they'll be part of, right? So edification, it does that at a high level, because even if you've never met, let's say again, you've never met me, you do that edification. It's like, okay, wow, they're attached to this person. It's a community. It's community commerce. It's commerce moving through a community of folks, and these guys are all knowing and helping one another. So edification is important. And again, it may seem a little bit uncomfortable to be edified or to do the edification at first, but it really helps establish the credibility, because the way that we're connecting with your prospect is through you. And if you help us establish that, you're the common thread that can help us establish that. It makes our job a lot easier. You can connect with someone and have them really seeing this through the lens of possibility in 15 to 20 minutes, as opposed to 45 minutes to an hour where you're just trying to establish some form of credibility because you weren't edified. So edification is absolutely imperative to building this and doing this. All right, so I've gotten through all of my points, but Sarge told me to open this up, and it's a small group. We've only got 11 folks. I want to open it up to some questions. So I'm going to unmute all. If you've got a lot of noise in your background, mute your lines if you would. Want to unmute, and just unmute when you have a question. All right, let me go to gallery view. Is it somebody raises their hand maybe? So what questions can I answer for anyone at this point? How many we have? We have 12 folks on here. Anybody have any questions? Or does anybody know if they had a question that you wanted to ask and that one of your prospects has asked? Hopefully no one's feeling overwhelmed, because it is a lot of information. But that's why we like to do this, like, in this type of a format. You can all see that, hey, look, you're not the only person that's taken this step together. Right. And because a lot of other folks are taking this step at the same exact time, you can see, hopefully it establishes some level of confidence in knowing that you're not the only person going through this, and it works. So.
Hey, Barry, my name is Andres. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Andres, how are you?
I have a question. I don't speak English very well, but I think you can understand. It's about the big event in Vegas. Is possible invite guests in some point of the event, or it's just for us?
Do you live in the area?
No, but I have people in my team ask me the question and I forget. Yesterday.
I say it's always good to have guests. You know what? I mean, the challenge there. That's a good question, Andres. The challenge that if somebody's really looking at this as a business, then yeah, I would say invite them as a guest. The challenge is that they're going to pay. This was a very expensive event for corporate to put on, and so obviously we all pay as brand partners, and I believe that they're going to have to pay. So to ask someone that is trying to take a look at this as a business to pay for something, that could be a tall ask. It doesn't mean that it's not a bad idea. If it were me, the reason I asked if you lived in the area is if you lived in the area, there'd be no better time than to get a hold of some leaders and put somebody in a room and let them get a go look at something when everybody's excited. But this is generally for brand partners. However, if you want to invite someone, you can. There is a cost associated, and just understand. Say, hey, look, if they're really.
I understand. My question is about maybe in some point somebody in the team do a presentation or something like that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's going to be, look, there's everybody that's here, every leader in the company is going to be here. So to find someone, and this is a business, right? We're all going here because this is a business. To think that, yeah, you will absolutely find, if you feel like you're striking out finding someone, find me. I will be there. And yeah, you're on my team, and I'm here to help you build this business. You've got on this call, who else? You've got, I don't know whose team.
Andres.
Yeah, you've
Sorry
got
to cut you off, Barry. But
you got John. Yeah, John here. You've got Jim and Sylvia. So I don't know whose team you're on, but
is Mario.
Oh, yeah. So John's right there. John is Mario's sponsor. He's the one. He will be more than happy to help you. He's a sharp cat, man. So yeah, don't think if you can see everyone right now. You see John, look for that handsome young fella that's from my hometown running around. He'll be happy to help you. And again, if you see me first, find me, and I'll help you find John, or I'll help you as well. So we're all in this. We want to see you succeed, Andres, because as you succeed, we succeed.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll be happy to help. I love that question. My man's already thinking. Don't think a leader won't take some time out to help you build your business. Sometimes it's hard to get us back in the room. Any other questions, guys? I know everyone, it's over here on the East Coast. It's 10:15, so it's been a long day for a lot of folks. But you've obviously shown how important this is to you to be here, and hopefully you've gained some information, and you don't feel as overwhelmed as you're taking this step, and maybe find some solace and some confidence in knowing that you're not the only person that's taking this step right now. Other people are taking it as well, right? We're all taking, everybody that's here is in the same phase, if you will, that you are. So you'll become familiar with everyone as you all go and grow together. Everyone have an awesome, awesome, awesome night. This will be recorded, so I think the Sarge will probably put it on somewhere on the YouTube. See you all in a week or less.
Yes, forward to it.
Awesome.
Pleasure, brother.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Yep. Bye.